Good afternoon. It is August 20th, 2025 at 4:34 p.m. The board meeting of the Oregon State Board of Nursing is now called to order. A notice of this board meeting was published by Rachel Prusak, Executive Director, in accordance with the open meeting law. If necessary, the board may also meet in executive session as authorized by ORS 192.660 sub 1, ORS 192.660 sub 2 F and L, ORS 678.126, ORS 676.165, and ORS 676.175 sub 1. Board members and staff stating that they are present are attesting to understanding the confidentiality of executive session and have taken steps to ensure that the executive session proceedings are not observed or heard by anyone not authorized by public meeting law ORS 192.660. Is there a roll call by our stand-in secretary?
Yes. Marcus Cooksey is absent.
Excused.
Oh, sorry. Margaret Hill.
Present.
Claire McKinley Yoder, excused. Joni Kellis.
Here.
Linda Stanich, here. Oleniki Tolobola.
Here.
Rachel Dennis.
Absent.
Philippa Nesta.
Present.
Rachel Mitzel.
Present.
There being a quorum present, I declare this board eligible to conduct its business.
The executive director will do board staff roll call.
Great. So this evening with us for our limited meeting is myself, Executive Director Rachel Prusak, present, and Brandy Ritter.
Present. Executive Assistant.
And Phil Young. Thank you.
Yeah, we're not. Okay. So. It is.
I guess we don't have to do that. We can just kick it off because we're not going into executive session.
Yeah.
Great. So let me flip this over to me. Thank you, everyone. Good to see you. So board members, I respectfully request that the board initiate a motion for the permanent adoption of the Oregon Administrative Rules, Chapter 851, Division 70 of the Nurse Practice Act. The division establishes the standards for the Health Professional Service Program. At the June board meeting, the board voted to adopt the rules with modifications to align the language. There were 2 supportive testimonies presented during the rule hearing comment period, which was in the public board packet. And that is what I have for you all. If there's any discussion. And I believe you have something.
I do have something. This is Board Member Hill, and I have a request to modify the first motion. I discovered that on 851-070-0060 sub 1B and C, we need to add the word certificate holder to the language. And that would just modify the very first motion.
Great. So for everyone to know, while Executive Assistant Brandy Ritter and myself worked very hard to find every single certificate holder fix, our astute board member Hill found 2 that still needed it.
She's always so good at that.
Any other comments, thoughts, suggestions? So just this one right here, modification.
Yes, because these aren't referenced.
Great.
Yep.
All right. Well, then I am going to move forward.
I just had a question.
Yes, of course. Sorry, I didn't see your hand, board member.
Yep, sorry. No, which page is that on, Margaret? You went so fast. I was like, sub this and sub that. I was like, what?
So I can repeat again too while she's finding the page. It's 0060 sub 1B and 0060 sub 1C.
it printed double-sided.
There's
There it is. Okay. So I think page
15. 15 of the packet,
15.
5 on the division. If that makes sense.
So it's 1B and C. Says to be approved by the board as an independent third-party evaluator. And then, so B says, able to provide a comprehensive assessment of and written report describing a licensee's diagnosis, degree of impairment, and treatment recommendations. And C, able to facilitate toxicology testing of the licensee at intake.
Okay, sorry, I thought we were on board member compensation. Just going in order on our packet.
Oh, sorry.
And I'm sorry, that was me.
So
we-
where are we?
We are on the proposed rulemaking for Division 70. My
Okay.
apologies.
Well, no, I was the one that jumped in for moving Division 70. I think we can all tell that this has been a work in progress for a year and a half, and somehow my brain had us jump to that one. But if it's okay with you all, we'll continue to move forward with proposed rulemaking Division 70 and then move on to Division 10.
So I did have, I've got to just find my pages here. I wasn't ready. I had a question. So in our packet, it's page 15 and it's 851-070-0060
Mhm.
on the third-party evaluators. So I was just curious as to why we were deleting all those what seemed to be kind of reasonable qualifications to be a third-party evaluator and what the thought process was here.
So this is exactly what came to you all at the meeting, and if you look at what was added for 3 and 4, the board or contractor will not accept an evaluator as independent in particular case if a board's contractor's judgment, the evaluator's judgment is likely to be influenced by a personal and professional relationship. And then 4, if the evaluation does not contain return to work criteria, qualified board staff or another third-party evaluator will review. You know, I think mostly it's because of how what's written in statute. And if you go back to the statute, it spells out what is required. And so it was about redundancy more than anything. As the medical board, board of pharmacy, and board of nursing are getting back in, as we are getting back in, I wanted to align as much as possible to simplify across all 3 boards of how the language was written. So that was the decision I made to do that, of what is spelled out in statute, how do we not repeat it in rule? But if you want to test it, it does spell out, and let me look.
Because
So
you're questioning like where it says have a minimum of a master's degree.
Yeah, and all the evaluators get approved, and then they come to all the boards to also agree to approve them. We recently went through that process. But if you want, let me just put myself on mute and camera off so I can look up the statute and share that.
That'd be great. I appreciate that.
All right, I'm back. So yeah, if you go to the ORSs, it spells out exactly, and so we lined it up. I think what we're trying to do here, Board Member Kellis, is really align our rules with our statutes and not go out of bounds. At the end of the day, though, we know that a lot of the evaluators are making sure of that. There's levels of what a CDAC is, there's levels of what a licensed professional is in the third-party vendor. And I think what we can do is when Uprise comes to present to the board, have that conversation about what that looks like. But I do know they have a very stringent process for approval. And then I also know that while we are making sure that our Division 70 is aligned for everything to get back into it and what was already in our rules, we are going to create the Rule Advisory Committee to look forward to what we just did in our updated technical fix bill. So that is the next step. So if it's something that you feel needs to be spelled out again, we can look at it then. But I know the real goal, you know, and what was brought forth to you all before, it was aligning with our statutes and aligning how the other divisions were written. I don't think it means anything that those requirements aren't already part of the process for our third-party vendors. You know, they have medical directors, they approve evaluators. Not only are they approving them, they send them to the boards to say, do you also agree with that? And with that, I plan to bring that, not once we're back in it, bring that evaluator list to you all at the September board meeting, because I want it re-voted on that they're board approved.
So you're saying at least these types of qualifications are somewhere, possibly in statute.
Right.
Okay.
But then another statute.
So I'm not 100% clear, and I apologize, exactly where they are. I will go back and find this, but the technical fix bill did ask the legislature, which was approved, for the board to be more specific on what is the requirements of a third-party evaluator. We do want to make sure that the first time somebody is evaluated, especially physicians, pharmacists, and nurses who are well-versed in what those tests look like and sound like, to make sure. So that is part of the work moving forward, if that one piece isn't already spelled out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any other comments?
Okay, well then I am going to move forward with 3 motions. Brandy, can I just do a check on how is best as the rule coordinator? Should I do the specific modifications, knowing the very 2 spots that we need to add certificate holder, or just say with modifications to add certificate holder?
As the motion, we have it noted and recorded where the modifications need to be. So you can just say with modifications.
Great, thank you. So I make a motion that the board approves with modifications permanent adoption of the proposed amendment to OAR 851-070-0051, 0060, 0070, 0075, 0080, 0090, and 100. As modified, effective September 1st, 2025.
So move.
Second.
You'll have to do a roll call, Board Member Stanich now.
Okay. The board will do a roll call. Margaret Hill,
Aye.
Joni Kellis,
Aye.
Linda Stanich, aye. Oleniki Tolabola,
Aye.
Philippa Nesta,
Aye.
Rachel Mitzel.
I think you said aye, but I didn't hear you, Rachel. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Can you hear
There you
me?
go. Yes,
Thank
yes, now
you.
we can hear you. Thank you. All righty,
Okay.
I'm going to move on to the second motion. I make a motion that the board approves the permanent adoption of OAR 851-070, -0011, 0026, 0035, and 0041 as presented effective September 1st, 2025.
So move.
Second.
The board will take a roll call now. Margaret Hill,
Aye.
Joni Callis,
Aye.
Linda Stanich, aye. Oleniki Tolabola,
Aye.
Philippa Nesta,
Aye.
Rachel Mitzel.
Aye.
Okay. I make a motion that the board approves the permanent repeal of OAR 851-070, 0010, and 0025 as presented effective September 1st, 2025.
So move.
Second.
Ready for a roll call. Margaret Hill,
Aye.
Joni Callis,
Aye.
Linda Stanich, aye. Oleniki Tolabola,
Aye.
Philippa Nesta,
Aye.
Rachel Mitzel.
Aye.
Great, thank you all. I will make sure that while we move forward with the modification on that one, and have all of these take effect, that I follow up on the very specific question for our public board packet of what Board Member Callis asked for, and be able to move forward with that. Great. Of course. Okay, well, I am going to then ask you all to go back to page 4 on the per diem reimbursement days memo. And I respectfully request that the board initiate a motion for permanent adoption of the amendments to Oregon Administrative Rule, Chapter 851, Division 10 of the Nurse Practice Act. This division outlines the standards related to board member compensation and OAR 851-010-0024. The board voted to move forward with an administrative rule hearing at the June board meeting. There were no comments provided for this amendment during the rule hearing comment period. Any questions from board members? Great. Well, then I'm going to make a motion that the board approves permanent adoption of the proposed amendments to OAR 851-010-0024 as presented effective September 1st, 2025.
So move.
Second.
We'll do a roll call. Margaret Hill,
Aye.
Joni Callis,
Aye.
Linda Stanich, aye. Oleniki Tolabola,
Aye.
Philippa Nesta,
Aye.
Rachel Mitzel.
Aye.
And I forgot to say for all the others, but the motion passed. Sorry,
No, it's okay.
but this motion passed.
Yeah, all motions passed tonight. We have that recorded. Thank you. Turn it back over to you.
So the meeting is adjourned at 4:55 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.